Hi, this is Argonax, and we talk about things that don't matter. What does having sex with a player-made elf character in Skyrim have in common with Nintendo raising their game prices? It's screwing the customer. Cue the music. So, not too long ago, Nintendo just had its Nintendo Direct. And as a person who has allegedly no love for consoles or the companies that make them, it was actually a pretty good showcase. I watched the whole thing. And while I have no affection for consoles and their exclusives, I won't lie, the new Metroid Prime game looks pretty damn good. And the fact that there is Bloodborne 2 coming out, even though it's not Bloodborne, but shut up, it is Bloodborne, look at it. Also, Silksong was there too. We actually got two of some of the most memed, unreleased, or unconfirmed games ever announced in one show. And all it cost us is that we have to live in a gaming world where we still have no Half-Life 3 confirmation, and the likelihood of GTA 6 costing $100 becomes more and more likely. And it's all thanks to Nintendo. But let's just focus on the Nintendo Direct. It was a pretty damn good showcase, is what I would like to say if they didn't absolutely fumble towards the finish line. From a technical and presentation standpoint, it was a very good show. Well, besides the shitty audio desync and the fact that the stream was lagging, causing one of the games to be showcased to be completely skipped.
Hi, I'm Dave Crooks from Dodge Roll. It's still stuck.
Now I think about it, maybe the showcase wasn't the best. But all of that doesn't matter. All that really matters is the fact that throughout this entire show, not once do they bring up the topic of cost. Something that I would argue is rather important anytime you're discussing a new console and its games. They do say towards the end to check the website for more details. Rather sneaky, if you ask me. But unlike the people who I asked to subscribe to my channel, people tend to listen to Nintendo, and they went to that website, and what they saw, they didn't like. The shift in perception is so palpable. You can see the exact moment in everyone's eyes, the moment their opinion changed, and it's exactly when they saw the prices.
If hating Nintendo was a sport, I'd be the Michael Jordan of it. For years, I have thrown innumerable tomatoes at this company for a variety of reasons, and today, I feel so vindicated after all the Nintendo Switch 2 announcements.
I'm gonna sprinkle in the various reactions of different YouTubers and influencers in this video, and you will see, just in their faces alone, the moment that they went onto that Nintendo website and when they saw the price of the console, or, more egregiously, the price of the games. And these sneaky little businessmen try to hide this stuff. But before I show any of the other reactions, I want to make my stance crystal clear. This might be a controversial opinion, but I like to not be completely broke. And I will always advocate for things that are pro-consumer, pro-customer. I don't like it when these billion-dollar companies try to nickel and dime us for every penny we have, making us pay for things that should be free, or in some of the worst cases, charging us more for things that really shouldn't cost more. And that's primarily what I want to talk about in this video. So, if Nintendo is the domino that leads to games costing up to 3 digits, then fuck Nintendo. Hello and welcome, Internet Wanderer. My name is Argonax. I make video reviews, essays, commentaries, and shorts. I hope you enjoy my content enough to do the YouTube thing, such as liking and subscribing, and special thanks to all the channel members to who I am extremely grateful for their support. Their contributions mean the world to me, and it helps keep the channel going. But enough of that. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Let me try to curb anybody trying to play defense for this company real quick before I really get started in this video. Why would anyone try to defend the notoriously greedy company trying to be more greedy? I don't know, I guess they like their games or something. They'll give reasons like games cost more to make, games cost more to manufacture. It does not matter. Games are more lucrative than they ever have been at any point in history. Microtransactions, hidden costs, subscription fees, battle passes. There are so many ways that companies try to squeeze us for every dollar that we have. So why is it that we're making such a huge stink about games costing $80 or more? Well, it's just that. The games are becoming more expensive, and people don't have unlimited money. One defense that I've definitely heard a lot is that if I don't like the game, I don't have to buy it. Well, that's true, but I'll apply the same response that I have for microtransactions as I do to this. Sure, if I don't like it, I don't have to buy it, but at the same time, the company didn't have to do it. They didn't have to make shitty microtransactions, or in this case, they didn't have to increase the game price. Oh, but games are costing more to make. No, that does not matter. Do you honestly think Nintendo or any game company, even the company that I love, Valve, do you really think that they have your best interest in mind? At the end of the day, they are all companies. They are all trying to make a buck. All that really matters to them is how much are they willing to get their hands dirty to do it. It sets a very bad precedent for games moving forward. And I know I am not alone in this sentiment, because so many people are calling out Nintendo for this very bad decision. And Nintendo themselves know that it's a controversial opinion, because nowhere in this entire showcase do they ever bring up the subject of cost. They don't talk about how much the console is gonna cost, nor its games. You have to go onto the Nintendo website, and right there in the tiniest little tag possible is where you can find the cost of their games. Sneaky? Yes. Scummy? Absolutely. And this is something we should not ignore. And now, because they have this precedent, the mere fact that they added this stupid little tag to their stupid racing game, other companies are going to mimic this. Imagine a brand new Ubisoft game for $90. The next Far Cry game, French Canada edition, for $120 for the physical copy. At that price, I might as well buy 2 packs of eggs at the grocery store. Fun times. And Rockstar, the boogeyman of this console generation with their upcoming GTA 6, is definitely aware of the online discourse about their game. They know people have been bringing up the topic of GTA 6 and $100 for quite a while now. The question is, will Rockstar give enough of a shit to not make their game $100? Well, with Nintendo pulling this stunt, they might not just give a shit. Let's be real, Rockstar doesn't actually give a shit. They might as well fucking slap $150 on that and people will still eat it up like it's fucking pancakes.
$500? But the original Switch was $299, $300. Holy shit, that's too expensive. $449 is more than even I expected. Come on now.
Mario Kart World costs $80.
What?
It says right there.
Why-
It said right there on that
Why
website.
the fuck
you're
is
on.
it 8?
No.
Yeah,
it's right there. Go up.
$79.99 right there. Mario Kart World on its own costs $80.
You get it $30 cheaper when you buy the bundle. Why?
If Mario
Hold on,
Kart costs $80, Grand Theft Auto is gonna be $300.
Holy
fuck
fucking
that.
shit. $80 for games? What are you talking about? $80 for the digital fucking game?
For digital?
For digital. What is the physical?
How is it? Yeah. No fucking way.
Did Nintendo usher in the motherfucking price increase? Hold on, I'm completely unprepared for this. Why didn't they fucking show this on the fuck? Oh, what? It's 80. Get the fucking advertisers out of here. God damn it. Fucking 80, 90, what? 80 fucking dollars for digital and $90 for physical.
You must be out of your goddamn mind. I'm not getting it.
You already the system was too expensive. I was like, no, maybe I'll just wait. But the games, maybe you can justify the cost of the system with all the shit in the pack and the fucking Mario Kart and all that. But $90 games with tax, $100 fucking dollars. Fans of Nintendo are the ones that collect all the physical copies. They're the ones that like to have libraries and libraries like we have downstairs. And they're gonna get fucked the most.
There's a lot of gaming companies out there that I very much dislike. Obvious ones like Ubisoft, EA, Activision, those ones are more generalized. But there are 2 game companies that I have a very severe dislike of. Riot Games, admittedly that one is more personal bias due to the fact that I'm a Dota fanboy, and Nintendo. Purely just because, out of every other gaming company out there who is seen in a more or less positive light, I have never seen a game company who absolutely shits on their own fan base. The more that you love Nintendo games, the more Nintendo dislikes you. In other words, if you are a casual fan, Nintendo loves you. The moment you like their stuff more and more, the more passion you have for their games and products, you start to become a nuisance in their eyes. And I don't like that. There's also all the shitty business practices they do, all the anti-customer stuff that they do. Overall, I'm not a fan. They make amazing games, no doubt. Even I, as someone who kinda likes to jokingly shit on their games, have to admit that their games are quality, but I just cannot support this company. And yes, in case for those who don't know anything about me or my channel, I cover almost exclusively Valve, and therefore makes me a Valve fanboy. But hey, I know Valve isn't perfect, they have their flaws. But one thing Valve definitely isn't is anti-customer. I want games, all games. It doesn't matter from who, from when, from where, from what. I want all of them to be as accessible as possible. Making games either aggressively monetized with microtransactions, console exclusives, or jacking up the price does the exact opposite. And Nintendo is guilty of all of these things. And I understand all gaming companies are to some degree, but Nintendo especially. And the worst part about it, I think the reason that gets me so irked up, is the fact that there are so many people defending them. I assure you that there are people out there playing defense for this billion-dollar company. Absolutely. And of course, everybody likes to defend the gaming companies that they love. If a company made a game or a product that you love and hold close to your heart, you will defend them. It makes sense. If somebody was bashing on Valve, I probably would come to their defense. But here's the thing. No matter what, Valve has done far less shitty and scummy things than Nintendo. And that is a fact. And to be completely clear, if Valve completely sold their soul and became as shitty as Nintendo, I would call them out on their bullshit as well. But the thing is, they don't do the same shitty things as Nintendo. So far, I'm watching you, Gaben.
No, it's just me, Gabe Newell.
But I don't want to make this video Valve versus Nintendo. I just want to cover what happened with this Nintendo Direct and what it could mean for the future of games.
My friends were defending Nintendo today. I've seen a lot of defense of Nintendo today, actually, which is shocking. I've used that word so many times, but I can't think of other adjectives to describe my bewilderment. It is what I believe to be truly indefensible for Nintendo to be charging $80 for standard digital games and $90 for the physical, which is not a physical game. You are buying a box with a code. Basically, you get a little key and you put the key in. They even state your physical copy is not the game. It doesn't have the full game data. You buy the key and then you download it still. And they charge you an extra $10, $90. Let's take, for example, Australia. Australians are going to be paying like $120, $130 per game. I don't know how you can possibly defend it.
So to recap, in the most brief way possible, Nintendo did a showcase, their Nintendo Direct. They showed off the capabilities of their new console, the Switch 2. They showed off trailers for a bunch of their new games coming to the system, along with the many features and stuff that they're doing to support older games into this new platform. And just to really hammer home how anti-consumer this fucking company is, they confirmed that a bunch of games from the Switch 1 are indeed playable on the Switch 2. But in order for you to play them with the increased performance that their brand new console will provide, you need to pay money. Imagine if you had a PS4 game and you plopped it into your PS5, but you wanted to get better performance? Too bad, you have to pay. That is insane to me. That's like if I upgraded my graphics card to the brand new 5090, but I ended up having to pay extra money other than the hardware cost. If I wanted to run Cyberpunk with slightly higher settings, I would have to pay more money? Absolutely not. This next part is also more towards my ignorance of game consoles in general, but I still find it crazy that you have to pay money just to gain access to the online store, or at least the online features. I understand that some console games are completely free to play without the need of any online subscription like the PSN or whatever. But the fact it remains that some games do, and I guess you could call me spoiled because as far as I know, PC games don't do that. They don't charge you to play online games. Just imagine if you needed to play a premium subscription cost just to have a Steam account. Could you imagine what type of world that would be? That's the type of world that if Steam never existed and Battle.net or Uplay had their way, we would be paying service costs for these online storefronts. It's just a good thing that Steam got to there first. But I'm getting off topic again, sorry, it's a sign of my growing dementia. A lot of the games that they announced, pretty damn good. I have quite a few friends who are excited for that new Pokemon game. The title is an admission, because it states that they're going full circle, even though they've already kinda done that for decades. There's also that new Rocket League game, but basketball and you're disabled, kinda like the Nintendo suits that agreed to these egregious game prices. Welcome to the Argonax channel. And after looking at the specs for the Switch 2, I noticed something that was rather surprising. The screen is an LCD, which tells me only one thing. Nintendo is gonna release an OLED version of this console sometime in the future, and you can bet your sweet ass that that thing is gonna cost at least $100 more. You know, just saying, the Steam Deck got a free OLED upgrade and it didn't cost anything extra. In fact, they lowered the price of the LCD model. Jesus, I'm such a Valve shill. Doesn't matter if the competition's like this, it's really not that hard to be a shill to any company, honestly. Also, why is the Switch 2 Tour tech demo game not free? Why do you have to pay for the tech demo game? I've heard a lot of people bring this up, and I completely agree. Like, I get it. These things are actually rather cool. The fact that they gamify the game console as a way of tutorializing how to get around the hardware of the console. They did this with the PlayStation with the Astrobot thing. I think it was the PS4 that did it first.
Anyway, just remember, the important thing is to have fun on your own time before you come in. Otherwise, it's just, it's real bad here. It's fine. You'll probably be fine. Good luck.
The Steam Deck has the Aperture desk job, and, well, Nintendo has this. Except not really, because you have to pay for it. Ridiculous. Jesus. Remember that thing that I said about the whole if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it? Well, that criticism doesn't work if future games costs an arm and a leg.
Then he scrolled down. I'm scrolling. Oof. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh, did they just bypass the $69.99? Yeah, that's gonna be very fucking annoying for a lot of people. That seems fake. That is on the Nintendo.com. Yeah, if they're charging an extra $20 for games on this system, I don't know. That's not good. Mario Kart World is $67 in the UK, 67 pounds in the UK. Do the exchange rate. I don't know what to tell you when it comes to the price. I think the price sucks. I don't like that. That's a dangerous precedent, chat. You could tell the voice. I had emotion in my voice just then. That's a dangerous precedent. We'll see where this goes. I mean, we'll see if this ends up being as big of a seller for them. And, you know, the cycle happens. And Sony, the problem is Sony is also in belligerent mode as well. So I don't know if this is going to bode well for the industry if the industry standard ends up coming up, you know, $80. GTA 6, people are saying is going to be 100. Well, we'll have to see.
So, to wrap this all up in a nice little bow, you have the brand new Switch 2, which at the minimum costs $450 US. But of course, why would you do that when you can just spend an extra $50 and get that extra game that's bundled with it? So a nice even $500, plus tax, of course. Then you gotta get the online subscription thing, plus tax, of course. But of course, you can't just settle with one new game. Are you kidding me? It's a brand new console. You gotta buy at least another game. So that's a nice little $80 on top of that, $90 if you want to go physical, because let's be real, you gotta go physical, even though it's not really physical because it's not a disc. The physical copy will not work without an internet connection, so you gotta get that, plus tax, assuming you live in America, tariffs and all that, yippee. Add all this together and you're looking at the minimum price tag of $600, and that's a conservative estimate. I could talk about game prices and the gaming landscape all day long, but the fact of the matter is, this is a very stressful and unfortunate time for the gaming industry. Games are getting better and better, sure, of course. AAA games might stumble every now and then, but for the most part, we still get bangers. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was still one of the best games of the year. Indie games and AA games are on the rise. They are insanely good. But if it comes at the cost of mainstream games becoming more and more expensive and less accessible, then I don't know if that bodes well for this industry moving forward. And I'm rather worried because I love video games. And as much as I give shit about Nintendo, I want them to be better. I see the appeal of their games. Nintendo serves as a conduit to many different demographics of gamers, from casual gamers to families. You can make your grandma play their games and she'd have fun playing them. But if this is what it costs to get those people to play these games, and I'm not sure if this is the type of Nintendo and the type of games that I want to see moving forward. It's an unsure time, Internet Wanderer, and I'm sorry if I got a little heated up in this video because, well, this is something that is near and dear to me, because if companies can see that they can get away with this shit, they're gonna try to get away with this shit. Call me lucky, call me happy that the game company that I decided to fanboy over, Valve, hasn't completely let me down, not for lack of trying, but at the very least, Valve is trying to do some things, and at least they're trying to serve as this bastion of pro-customer choices and decisions for now. But that's enough rambling on my part. I just wish things were better. But what do you think, Internet Wanderer? Do you think that what Nintendo is doing is justified? Do you think that games costing more is enough reason for them to increase prices like this? And just overall, tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below about this entire goddamn mess. Thanks for watching, Internet Wanderer. Do the YouTube things.